Hereditary decent variety is basic to the endurance of an animal varieties. We as a whole acquire a blend of qualities from our folks, some of them went down along a few ages. En route, these qualities are frequently changed. For instance, a solitary base in our DNA might be arbitrarily traded for another during replication, or an entire section can be erroneously erased or increased. A considerable lot of these DNA transformations are quiet and must be identified on an atomic scale by a geneticist in a lab. In any case, there likewise exist some quite abnormal changes that can have some entirely recognizable impacts on their bearers. Twofold eyelashes. Elizabeth Taylor was celebrated for her dazzling eyes, yet things being what they are, the dim coating around her eyelids wasn't just a stunt of makeup. Or maybe, the entertainer profited by a hereditary transformation known as distichiasis. Because of a change in the FOXC quality, a quality liable for incipient organism tissue advancement, Elizabeth Taylor and different transporters of this transformed quality have twofold eyelashes. While these additional eyelashes may have upgraded Taylor's magnificence, this isn't generally the situation with distichiasis. Numerous bearers have eyelashes that develop inwards, possibly harming their corneas. This transformation has likewise been connected with the improvement of lymphedema distichiasis disorder, which can some of the time be related with innate coronary illness and other well-being complications. 7 Satiety. While unreasonable weight put on or weight reduction can positively be affected by outside variables, hereditary qualities can impact dietary patterns also. Specifically, the melanocortin-4 receptor quality (MCR4) can be transformed to either increment or decline sentiments of yearning in influenced people. The MCR4 protein assumes a significant job in setting up a sentiment of satiety. It basically tells your mind when you are full. At the point when this quality is transformed in an individual, there exists a likelihood that they will never encounter the sentiment of satiety, prompting gorging and corpulence. Be that as it may, the inverse might be valid too. Certain transformations in this quality can really cause an individual to feel continually full and never eager, consequently securing them against corpulence. Alcohol flush. We as a whole have that companion, or maybe are that companion ourselves, who turns as red as a tomato at whatever point drinks are served. While facial flushing is frequently connected with heavy drinkers, a few people just have a hereditary change that renders them unfathomably delicate to even limited quantities of alcohol. When we drink liquor, the ethanol content must be separated so as to be flushed out of the body. One of the results of liquor digestion is called acetaldehyde, and it is very poisonous. The compound aldehyde dehydrogenase 2, coded for by the ALDH2 quality, makes light of a significant job in breaking the acetaldehyde before it starts to develop in the body. However, for about 8% of the populace, the ALDH2 quality is transformed. The changed ALDH2 compound can't productively separate acetaldehyde, which develops rapidly as liquor is used. This causes the veins in an individual's face to enlarge, causing a red flush not long after guzzling in liquor. The facial flushing doesn't represent an immediate peril to the influenced individual, however side effects, for example, sickness may go with the redness, making drinking liquor an awkward encounter. Some exploration likewise recommends that this change might be related with expanded danger of hypertension development, painlessness. A lady in Scotland confounded researchers when it was found that she didn't feel torment or uneasiness and had gone around 60 years into her life before understanding this was not ordinary. After a procedure on her hand that would normally cause inconvenience caused her no torment, her primary care physicians got mindful of her apparently torment-free life and alluded her to a geneticist. The lady, named Jo Cameron, announced that she didn't understand she was consuming herself on an oven until she could smell the fragrance of consumed tissue, and had really discovered labor pleasant. Investigating her DNA uncovered that her FAAH quality was smothered and her FAAH out pseudogene was missing data. The FAAH quality codes for a protein, unsaturated fat amide hydrolase, that typically separates an indomita in the body, a synthetic that cushions torment and tension. For Jo Cameron, this anendomata isn't separated on the grounds that she doesn't create the FAAH protein, which means she feels no agony, never stresses, and never gets on edge. Addictions generally, addictions like liquor abuse have not been solely connected to a particular quality change, however they might be connected to quality articulation. Epigenetics is a fascinating field of study that is worried about outer changes to qualities. Instead of a mistake in the DNA code itself, epigenetics proposes that outside impacts can change how our cell apparatus can peruse a quality so as to fabricate proteins and different synthetic compounds. For instance, DNA methylation is the expansion of methyl gatherings to part of a DNA succession, and the nearness of methyl bunches on DNA can obstruct the qualities on that DNA fragment from being communicated. Along these lines, despite the fact that the quality itself has no blunders or transformations, this methylation can meddle with the capacity of the quality. Studies recommend that liquor presentation can adjust quality articulation related with the neuronal circuits in the amygdala and different districts of the cerebrum, for example, those associated with practices like reliance and resistance. There have likewise been examinations connecting epigenetic changes and their example of legacy in posterity. Basically, if a parent is a heavy drinker and encounters epigenetic changes to their quality articulation as an impact of ethanol presentation, it is feasible for those epigenetic changes to be passed down to their posterity. Therefore, the offspring of addicts might be inclined to their parents' addictions. Mountaineering. When ascending a mountain like Everest, it is regularly prescribed to bring along a Sherpa as a guide, and in light of current circumstances, Sherpas, or individuals from the ethnic gathering local to the uneven districts of Nepal and the Himalayas, are regularly hereditarily inclined to work obviously better than all of us at high elevations. Hypoxia, a fall in tissue oxygen levels, is an intense concern when hiking because of the lower levels of oxygen as you rise higher, and it can prompt queasiness, hallucination and demise. In spite of the fact that not totally safe with the impacts of high elevation on the body, Sherpas have generally inhabited higher heights and have adjusted to the low oxygen condition in some really unbelievable manners. There are various hereditary variations regularly found in the Sherpa populace that help them to flourish better than us customary ocean-level people do far up in the mountains. One of these variations is found in the EPAS1 gene. The EPAS1 quality controls hemoglobin creation in low oxygen situations. Hemoglobin is the protein in red platelets that conveys oxygen to tissues and carbon dioxide away from tissues. The changed EPAS1 quality found in Sherpas manages their body's reaction to high elevation by permitting them to keep up a similar hemoglobin levels at high height as they would have a drift level. Conversely, a non-changed EPAS1 quality at high height would prompt the exorbitant creation of red platelets. While having increasingly red platelets increases the oxygen-conveying limit of the blood, it additionally prompts thicker blood and more slow bloodstream, which can bring about genuine mountain ailment, over-the-top strain on the heart, and hypoxia. Pungent smell. Trimethylamine is an exceptionally musty synthetic that has been portrayed as possessing a scent like decaying fish and trash among other unsavory things. The FMO3 quality codes for a catalyst that separates mixes like trimethylamine present in our eating regimens to wipe out the solid smell, yet for an unfortunate few, this quality is transformed with the goal that the compound is either totally absent or restricted in action. The aftereffect of this transformation is a confusion called trimethylaminuria, which is portrayed by an exceptionally solid smell discharged in the perspiration, pee or breath of an influenced individual. This smell originates from the development of trimethylamine in the body because of the missing protein, and it tends to be a staggeringly disengaging jumble. Sorrow and social confinement are conceivable symptoms of this unfortunate transformation, regularly alluded to as stale fish syndrome. 1 Female infidelity. Men undermining their accomplices has now and then been accused on a natural need to spread their seed, in a manner of speaking, as it were. Having various accomplices makes it almost certain that they will have numerous posterity, which is significant for the endurance and advancement of an animal varieties. In ladies, in any case, cheating is to a lesser degree a natural need, as ladies are regularly constrained by their own ability to convey a specific number of kids as opposed to by an absence of different accomplices. Presently, obviously this is a thin, logical clarification of deceiving conduct. It doesn't consider the way that male accomplices might be barren, and dismisses everything other than the organic desire to recreate, for example, enthusiastic closeness or duty. In any case, the essential idea is just that ladies don't have a solid natural need to undermine their accomplices, so for what reason do they? Well, unmistakably there are numerous reasons why, yet what you might not have considered is that a few ladies are really inclined to cheat due to changed qualities. In particular, an enormous report on human mating practices found that changes in the vasopressin receptor AVPR1A quality appear to be related with betrayal in ladies, yet not in men. Vasopressin is a hormone that assumes a significant job in holding between accomplices, just as in sexual inspiration, or the longing to participate in sexual acts. Basically, transformations in this quality may influence how a female reacts to vasopressin, and along these lines, how they associate sincerely with their accomplices, and that they are so attracted to search for sex outside of their relationship. As this is a hereditary transformation, it might likewise be passed down to a con artist's posterity, giving them a similar inclination as their parent. More research should be done to affirm these discoveries or conceivably discredit them. However, these outcomes are promising in that they give an organic motivation behind why a few ladies might be pulled into the possibility of treachery. It's just in their qualities.